And it is 1:30. We can get back started again. So welcome back. We're going to cover a few little nuances in this first session. So wherever you are in your build, focus on this for now. Stop answering Claude's questions and so forth, and just focus on this right now. So we covered a little bit about the Supabase secrets before the break, and now the next thing we want to look at is, or not Supabase secrets, but secrets in general. The next thing we want to look at is the auth settings for setup, and we're going to use Pete's app that he's just developed to learn this lesson. So I hope you don't mind, Pete, but I'm going to be, let me share my screen. A second. Where's my Zoom gone? Sorry. Didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen. Share, desktop free, share. There we go. All right, now you can see my screen. So this is the app that our friend Peter is working on. Peter, you get to be showcased in all your glory. And what I've done while we were at lunch, I was playing with Peter's app, and it's brought up a really good thing that we need to be looking at. And so when you go to your app for the first time and you click on Get Started and you fill in your information here and click Create Account, Supabase by default is going to send an email to the email address that the user puts in here to check that it's correct before they allow them to get in. Now, that email is set in Supabase under authentication, and then under sign-in providers, and then under email, you can see that in here, actually not in under email, at the top of this, under sign-in providers, there's this flag here to say confirm email. Now, when you are live, this is a great thing to have switched on. When you're testing, it's a good idea just to switch it off, just so you can get in quicker. However, don't forget to switch it back on again, and don't forget to set it up. And let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to take a screenshot of the email that I got from Peter's app, and let me just drag that on my screen so you can see it. Here we go. So I got an email, and it came from Supabase Auth. Confirm your email, and then it says confirm your email address and so forth. And what happens then when you click on confirm your address, you get to a page that doesn't exist. So the reason it doesn't exist is because it's looking on my local host. So there's a few things that we need to prompt here, and that is to make sure that the addresses are set up correctly in Supabase. Okay. And so this is where you need to have your deploy address or your domain name connected up to your app. And so what we're going to do before we tell our app that it's currently at this Netlify address is we're going to learn how to connect our domain name up to Netlify. Okay, so very, very easy. We are going to go into our project in Netlify. So we go to netlify.app. You'll get to here. You go to projects, you find your project, and you'll be in the project overview. And then on the left-hand side, we've got domain management. And in domain management, you get to be able to add a domain. Now, I added ninjatricks.com, and then I realized that ninjatricks.com is actually not with GoDaddy, who I want it to be with. So then I started a transfer from Squarespace, where it was, to GoDaddy, and now I've kind of locked myself out of that domain while it transfers from one provider to another. So I'm going to go through and show you how to add ninjatricks.co.uk, which is another domain that I have as an alias. Okay, so this one is in GoDaddy, and so I can still show you. So just so you know why I'm using the .co.uk address and not a .com address, it's because I messed up the .com address. But you can add as many domains to your one project as you'd like. And so there we are. We've added that domain, but now we need to set the DNS up, because although we've told Netlify that we're going to be using this domain, we need to tell GoDaddy, who controls that domain, where to point the traffic for ninjatricks.co.uk. So here we go. We're going to click on the verify DNS, and it's going to tell us the IP address of the oh, come on, Mark. The IP address of the host. So here we go. We're going to go back to GoDaddy, and then we're going to go and find, oh, and GoDaddy logged me out. Thank you. I was in you just a moment ago. It is me, I can confirm. Okay. My goodness. I love all these two-factor authentications. It's like, you know, can you let me in, please? Domains, come on. Enter the code manually. That'll do it. Okay. It's good to be secure, right? Until you can't get into things. 575074, verify code. All right, so now we're in, and you'll see here this transfer is going ahead, and it's supposed to have been here by June the 18th. It's still in progress. I don't really know what's going on, but we are going to go back to our domains. We're going to manage our portfolio, and then in here we can search for Ninja. And there's that Ninja Tricks. Okay, so when we're in here, and all hosts work about the same. They've got a DNS function where you can edit your DNS. And in here, this domain isn't managed. Okay, so we will need to change the name service to make sure it's pointing back to GoDaddy. So here we're going to say we want to use GoDaddy's name service. You probably shouldn't mess with this unless you know that the name servers you're using are not correct. So now we've pointed it back to the GoDaddy name servers. We're going to refresh this page and hope that it can then let me set up the DNS. DNS provider, this DNS is managed outside of GoDaddy. No, it's GoDaddy. So it just needs a little bit of time to update, and then I'll be able to put, here we go. No, still not. Create new, verify domain ownership. We need to verify the ownership to connect to an external server. What? No, I just want to be able to create the DNS records. Okay, it's not going to let me do this for this because I've just updated the name servers. Let's go out and back in. Maybe that'll help. See, problems even happen to people that do this on a daily basis. So if you ever hit a problem, don't feel like it's just you. It happens to everybody. And we're going to go Ninja Tricks. Ninja Tricks. DNS. There we go. Now we've got the DNS running. So here's our first one. We've got a CNAME, which is an alias, basically, for www, and it's currently pointing to ninjatricks.co.uk, but we want to edit that, and we want to point it to ninjatricks.netlify.app, okay? Your host name that you created in Netlify. So we're updating that, and now we're going to change the A record. These are the only two you need to change, and the A record is currently parked, and we want to put the IP address that we got from Netlify, and we are sending that. Okay, so now we've set the A record and the C name for www for to point to Netlify, but we only added the A record, the main domain. And we're going to create the www record. ninjatricks.co.uk in here as well. Okay, and so that is done. Now, I would like to make ninjatricks.co.uk my primary domain, just because obviously the other one isn't going to work just yet. Oh, okay. It's having an issue because it's attempting to issue the certificate for the .com at the moment. So a little bit of a hassle, but make sure you don't transfer your domain on the same day as you want to actually use it, and then you won't have this issue. But what we did just do is correctly set the DNS for the A record, which is the domain name itself, and the www, which is a C name. And so both of these are now pointing to our host. However, we don't have a SSL certificate. That's what makes the security part work. That isn't here yet. And so we can sort of go through the back door and we see the site that we saw before. Okay, now the reason we did all this first is because we now want to tell Claude that the domain is whatever the domain is. So once you've got all that set up, you're going to go back to Claude. And it doesn't matter if Claude is saying, hey, do you want to start on phase 3? You can interrupt it and go, no, I want to do this next. And then come back to start phase 3 later. You don't have to feel like you need to do all the building first before you can ask it to do something else or ask it a question or whatever. Okay, so in here, we're going to say the main domain for this app will be ninjatricks.com. However, at present, the DNS is not responding, so we will need to use ninjatricks.co.uk. Please update everywhere that the domain is required, including Supabase, so that the confirmation emails work. Okay, now I'm going to put this prompt into our document. Where can I put this? Let me just create a new section called prompts. And I'm just going to dump it there. Hello? No, I didn't copy it. There we go. So obviously you'll change the domain names to whatever, and then you probably won't have this convoluted, and let me take this bit out because you won't have that. Unless you want to put the domain will be this. However, we're going to currently use ninjatricks dot, and obviously you'll change that host, but netlify.app, which is the alias that will always work, even if the domains aren't, because this is what Netlify gave us to make work. So the main domain for this app is going to be whatever the main domain is. You might not even have registered it yet. However, at present, the DNS is not responding, so we will need to use ninjatricks on netlify.app. Please update everywhere with that domain, including Supabase. So that is the prompt that we're going to use. I'll put that in the chat as well, although I know that you guys are having issues copying and pasting from the chat, but you'll be able to paste it from the document. I do see a few people viewing the document, so I know you've got access to that. So there we go. That's what we're going to send to Claude, and that is going to update those emails to make sure it doesn't go into a local host address. It goes to a real address. Now, if you want to circumvent that whole confirmation email system altogether, again, I'll show you where to change that in authentication and then sign-in providers and then you can switch off the confirm email section here. Okay, cool. Any questions on all of that? That was a lot of information all in one go. Anyone got any questions? Want me to go over a certain part of that again? Let me know, and I will. But what we're going to do now is look at our where are we? Netlify. We want to look at our Netlify.app. So here's our app. Mine doesn't look as sexy as Peter's does because I don't have a sign up button. I only have a sign in button. I can't actually register my account. And so I'm going to, once it's finished doing what it's doing, ask it to create a sign up process as well. And allow Claude to run get. Oh, yes, of course, you can do that. All right, you good? Now if I say I command is different from, okay, so it's having some problems. Please let me use the Netlify API directly via curl and Supabase. Okay, so it's basically attempted to do something one way and it's going, oh, I can't do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. Half the time, Claude and any AI app builder is your oversharing friend. You don't really need to know all the stuff that it's doing. And somewhere there's probably a setting to tell it to, only tell me what's important and not everything. You don't need to know it's having issues with one thing and now it's testing something else. All you need to know is it's working. And so that's, some of this stuff that it's showing is no, that's interesting because it used the link email rather than the actual email. Now I need to update Supabase. Let me link. Okay, so it's linking all of the. Oh my goodness, Supabase wants to use your confidential information. Yes, that's fine. Hello. There we go. That's now building that. So again, any questions? How far have people got? We've got visuals on Peter and his app that he's built. We've even been able to register for Peter's app already. Let's go back to Peter's app here, click on login, and I should be able to log in. Now, one thing here, Peter, notice your login screen is black and everything else was white unless I'm using an older version of everything else. That says it's authenticating, so it's attempting to log in. Just about read it says authenticating. I had my head in Netlify deploy. Can you repeat the Supabase adjustment you made for yes? You updated the visual. Okay, so just be careful on contrasting colors here, Peter, because it's really hard to read this, without kind of squinting and so forth. So just ask it to use contrasting colors so that you are able to get in. And we'll cover this error in just a second. And let me show Vincent what we were talking about before. So let me just go home so we're not kind of stuck in where we're going. Under authentication, under the authentication, and then emails, you've got the ability to update your emails, but your emails are going to be sent from Supabase until you create your SMTP settings. Now, this is advisable to use something like Mailgun or Resend to do that, and this isn't going to cover setting that up. That's more of an advanced thing that we're not going to cover today. But to send emails, you're going to do that under SMTP settings. To switch the confirmation emails off, you're going to go to sign in providers, and then you can switch off the confirm email. Just switch that flag off and click save. And then you're not going to have any confirm email issues. However, I always forget to switch it back on. So I prefer to get over the confirm email issues and get it set up correctly. So I'm going to leave mine on. And the next thing is making sure that your domain URL isn't just localhost. So under project settings, no, not project settings, beg your pardon, give me 1 second. Is it integrations? No. Where have they moved it to? Everything used to be under domain settings, and now URLs. Come on. Am I missing it here? Infrastructure? No. Come on. I will find it. Project overview. It's not there either. Back to project settings. It's going to jump out at me any moment. I'm just going to Google it. Authentication and redirect. Okay, yes, of course. So under the authentication, we're actually there, and then you have URL configuration, and this is where that localhost 3000 is coming from. Peter, for your one, it's because it's the only domain that's in here. And what we want to do here, so just to confirm, I went to authentication and then URL configuration, and we want to add the domain names in here. So https //ninjatricks.netlify.app. Add that URL. And then we also want to put ninjatricks.co.uk. And we also want to put ninjatricks.com. Okay. I'm going to save all of those URLs because we can have more than one. All right, there we are. Okay, brilliant. So Sylvia, that's awesome. I'm going to cover that in a second because that's exactly where you need to be, is getting ready to iterate and add what's missing. You just get this done, and then we're going to be covering on that. Well done for your hard work over lunch. So this is now doing that Supabase URL thing for me, which I asked it to do. But the next thing we wanted to do is create a register button. So same as with you, Sylvia, you're now in a situation where you're now in a situation where you've got things missing, or you'd like to add a new feature or whatever. And that's where the 3-step prompt process that I talked about before the lunch that we're now going to go into depth in now, that's where that comes into. So, okay, I can't update the auth config without, okay, so I did that for it. I already did that. So that's good. So here we go. So this is what everyone is going to do when they need to iterate. It's called the 3-step prompt process. Janelle is going to put an amazing video. It's about 4 minutes long. Thank you, Janelle. And we're going to watch this in its entirety. And now it's 4 minutes long, but it's important. I have some clients that they have a hard time remembering this 3-step prompt process, and I put them on school detention, and I make them watch this 4-minute video every morning before they start work for a week because they need extra reminders. And so this is so important. Okay, so I want everyone to focus on watching this video.
Imagine being able to build anything
without the base 44 advert.
44, a complete AI creation.
If you've ever typed something like "it didn't work," "my app is broken," or can you all hear that? Is the sound working? Okay, great. I'll start it from the beginning. If you've ever typed something like "it didn't work," "my app is broken," or you still haven't fixed it, when asking an AI app builder like Famous AI to fix a bug, I get it. You're frustrated, but vague prompts lead to vague fixes. In this video, I'm going to teach you the exact 3-step prompting formula I use with every client I coach. This approach makes AI responses more accurate, fixes faster, and makes our communication crystal clear. Let's start with what doesn't work. It didn't work. The app is broken. You didn't fix it. These statements don't give the AI any context. It doesn't know what you tested, what happened, or what you expected. It's like calling a mechanic and just yelling, "my car doesn't work." They can't fix it without details. AI is powerful, but it's not a mind reader. It works best when you give it structured, precise information. That's why I developed my 3-part prompt recipe. It's simple, fast, and works every time. Here's the exact recipe I use for every bug and feature request. 3 sentences, 3 bullet points. What did I do? Here I describe the specific action you took. What happened? I then describe the actual result that I got. What I expected next, I describe what should have happened instead. Example, what did I do? I went to the homepage of the app and clicked on the sign in button. What happened when I clicked the button? Nothing happened. What I expected a sign in or sign up modal to appear over the page with the background blurred. Now, when we combine these, we get a clean, structured prompt like this. I went to the homepage of the app and clicked on the sign in button. When I clicked the button, nothing happened. I expected a sign in or sign up modal to appear over the page with the background blurred. This format gives the AI everything it needs to understand the context, the symptoms, and the desired outcome in one go. Here's why this works so well. Clarity. The AI can see exactly what user flow you're talking about. Reproducibility. If a developer or AI agent needs to replicate the issue, they have the exact steps. Targeted fixes. By stating what you expected, you're giving the AI a clear target state to work toward. Less back and forth. Instead of the AI needing to ask follow-up questions or worse, still guessing what you mean, you give it everything up front. And it works beautifully for new features too. For example, what did I do? I attempted to upload a profile photo in the settings page. What happened? The upload finished, but nothing showed up on the profile. What I expected my uploaded image to appear as my new profile picture immediately. Let's compare side by side. Bad prompt. The button doesn't work. Ambiguous, no context, forces AI to guess. 3-step prompt. I went to the home page and clicked on the sign in button. When I clicked, nothing happened. I expected a modal to appear over the page. Action specified, actual behavior captured. Expected outcome defined, easy for AI to identify the root cause or generate a targeted code fix. If you're working with a team or coaching clients like I do, make this your default prompt format. Print it, paste it, make it your team's bug reporting template. Every vague, it's broken prompt wastes time. When you use this 3-step structure, fixes happen faster, features get built more accurately, and your AI assistants perform at their best. So next time something doesn't work in your app, don't type "it's broken." Instead, remember, what did I do? What happened? What I expected? Use structure and watch your AI fixes become lightning fast. I am Mark P. Summers, your AI app builder expert.
Claude just became
awesome. There we go. Well, yes, Sylvia, that is AI Mark. If you watch it too carefully, my teeth, let me just give you a nice smile. My teeth cost me $45,000 8 years ago, and they're gorgeous and perfect. But if you watch that video too carefully, I have about 5 or 6 different sets of teeth throughout the video. So yes, that is my AI Mark, that he helps me with my videos and so forth. That is such an important thing to learn. If you don't learn anything today, learn how to prompt like a pro. That is just so important. Janelle will tell you, when I'm coaching people, when I'm doing webinars, I probably mention the 3-step prompt process about 10 to 15 times in an hour's webinar, because it is so important. When we're working with AI and awesome, nice. When I'm working with AI or any form of builder, let me share that screen again. You can get frustrated sometimes. You ask it to do one simple thing and it doesn't quite do it right, or it didn't understand you, or it broke something else. And it's very easy to get frustrated and just go, "Oh, you broke it." Now, Claude is a little bit more intelligent with the kind of, "Oh, that doesn't work" kind of prompt, because it has better contextual analysis than some of these other builders that I've used. But I urge you to, before you press enter on any prompt, to ask yourself, is this a good 3-step prompt? Yes, that has happened a few times when clients have attempted to use the 3-step prompt process. It doesn't work, and then I come on to a call and then just do a 3-step prompt process, and it does it straight away. That's just like anything, though. When your computer doesn't work, you call out IT, and all they do is press one button, and everything's working. I actually had it in my house the other day. I have 3 bathrooms in my house, and obviously a kitchen and 2 water heaters. And out of the 3 bathrooms, one of the bathrooms didn't have warm water, and everywhere else did. And well, this guy came along, he pressed one button, and suddenly that bathroom has warm water. And it's just like, oh, I could have done that, but you need to know where to press, right? And so there we go. Oh, I lost that. Let me bring that back. There we go. What we are going to be doing now is working with that 3-step prompt process. So you'll obviously need to transpose this to your own app where your app is, but we're going to look at what we've built and one thing that we need to change. So in my case, I don't have a way to sign up. So here's my 3-step prompt process. When I go to the homepage of the app, there is no way of signing up, only a way of signing in. Please make it possible to sign up using the Supabase Auth and have a confirmation email sent and land on a page to say, please confirm your email. when I confirm my email, I should log in automatically. All right, there is my my prompt. So it's a 3-step prompt process. What did I do? What happened? There's nothing there. And what did I expect to happen? Very, very clear. It works whether you're fixing a bug. It works whether you're adding a new feature, and everything is it is clear to the. There's no way that the AI can misunderstand it because you've given it clarity. And so important. Janelle did put that link into the document. Thank you, Janelle. I urge you, until you get to doing the 3-step prompt process as a second nature, watch that video over and over, once a day for the next week, just to get it in your head. See if you can count how many different sets of teeth the video presents. That's a good way of making it fun. Watching it over and over again, you can count. All right, here we go. It broke the app. So over here, we're previewing what the app is doing. However, we don't need to worry about that. It was just rebuilding. And so now it's fixed it. It knows what's happening. It can see this screen. So if you ever get those scary errors, just give it a minute. If it's still running, you can see it's still running here. You don't need to worry too much. All right, now we have our sign in button. So we're looking at the, or it was looking at the preview to see whether it liked it. Now it's asking me whether we want to commit it to Netlify. Now this might be that I don't want to commit it to Netlify now, and I might say, no, don't do that yet. But this isn't a live app, so we can commit it to Netlify straight away. Okay, so now it's committing that to Netlify. If we go over to our app in Netlify and click on deploys, we weren't quick enough, but we saw that it pushed new code, and that new code is now published. So we can now go to ninjatricks.com isn't going to work because that DNS is still pointing somewhere else, but ninjatricks.netlify. And that's the nice thing about this Netlify backdoor is you can always get to the netlify.app sub-alias or subdomain. So here we are. We're back at the app. We can now click on sign up. We can enter my name. Mark at AI app dot builders and my password, and then click create account. Okay, it's asking me to check my inbox. So it did exactly what I asked. It gave a very clear check your inbox message. That's good. We're going to save that password so I don't need to type it again. And I'm going to go ahead and check my email. I got an email. Now, it did come from Supabase Auth, and that's what I was saying earlier. You do need to set up your own email so it doesn't come from there. But we're going to click on the confirm email link, and boom, the same thing happened here that happened with Peter's app. It's going to this localhost 3000 address. So I still need to check why that's doing that. https://ninjatricks.netlify.app should make that work. There we go. So now I'm logged in because I've got a sign out button. I can see my courses. I don't have any. I can browse the courses. There aren't any. And so we now have a working auth, other than the URL still is wrong. And the reason for that is because the site URL up here still says localhost 3000, even though I gave it these aliases. I didn't put it up at the top here. Now, ideally, you don't want to use the ninjatricks.netlify.app. Ideally, you don't want to use the netlify.app address here. You want to use your actual domain, but I'm not waiting for the DNS to update. So that's why I'm putting the netlify.app address in here. Okay, brilliant. That is now saved. Let's go ahead and pick holes in this app that we just created. Where is it? Not that one, this one. Okay, so we have the ability now to sign in, and we have the ability to browse courses, but there aren't any. Now we don't have an admin function. Okay, and so we need to ask it to create an admin function. Now, the admin function may be in one of the phases that it still hasn't built. It's still wanting me to build the phase 3. So I'm going to just ask it, which phase is the admin function in? Okay, so we're now asking it to look at the plan and see where it is, and that's in phase 4. Okay, so I still haven't done phase 3, and it actually clarifies that at the end. Phase 1 and 2 are done, and phase 3, which is the video player, is next, and then phase 4. And it's asking me, do I want to jump ahead to phase 4, or do I want to do phase 3 first? And I'm going to say, let's do phase 3 first, so everything's done in order. Okay, simply answering its question. You don't need the 3-step prompt process if you're just answering a question. All right, and then off we go. Now, this is different to how things like Famous work, where Famous is like kind of, I did what you asked. Now tell me what you want me to do next. This is working through a plan, and it's looking at a project plan, and it's deciding which parts of that project plan have already been done. It's just a little bit more organized in the way it's building stuff. Like it knows what order it's making it in. So it's creating the content delivery for now, the way that the videos are going to be sent and hosted and all of that lovely stuff. So it's building the components of and the learn page. So that's the page for the course is going to be here. Now, I'd love some feedback on where people are. We've seen Peter's app. Who else is brave enough to give us their Netlify address so we can see what they've done so far? It's a great way of getting free advertising for your future app because this will be on all the videos for all the future. So go into Netlify, click on your project, and it will be at the top. So let me just show you that on this screen over here. Now, mine doesn't show a Netlify address because I've already added the domain, but your Netlify address will be here. It's also here where it says project / and then a slug or a name, and then it's that slug.netlify.app. So either way, just tell me what the slug is or tell me what the whole URL is, and then I can bring it up on the screen for everyone to see. If it isn't there, if you don't have a project, then you need to send the prompt to Netlify, and I'll give you the prompt in the chat. Please push my app to Netlify. Boom. Simple as that. Let's go back and see how this is building. So from this point forward, yes, exactly. We're asking Claude Code to do everything. Awesome, Vincent. We have... There we go. This is Vincent's coming up. we have, I was going to say a white page, but it came eventually. So again, we're going to go ahead and click get started. We're going to sign up for Vincent's page. We want it in English. And now it's asking us to check our email. And again, we're getting a Supabase Auth email, but that's because none of us has set up the mail yet. That's something you'll do another day. It's not something you need to do now. And that is great because that gave a Supabase address instead of the local address. So good job on that, Vincent. Everything is working. One thing I don't like is I don't like when I confirm my address, I then have to click sign in. So you might want to prompt when a user confirms their email address, please have them sign in automatically. I do like that as an option. It means I don't have to do this as a next step once I've confirmed, because I've already put in my name and my email and everything else. I don't want to type it again. I just want to click on a link. And I'm in. And I can see my workspace is ready. I can look at the dashboard. I can look at the settings. Settings page doesn't work, but that's okay. We're still iterating on that. And yeah, looking good. All right. Who else is brave enough to show me what they've done so far? Run your free structure. Okay, cool. You're fixing a bug. Okay, no worries. Once it's done and you're ready, just throw it in the chat and we'll bring it up. The next hour and a half of the session is iterating. Iterating basically means adding more and more onto your app. And so I'm going to tell mine to let's start phase 4. And off it goes. This is the admin dashboard that I wanted. Awesome. You're going to be close to getting ready to monetize. I love it. So again, once you know this process, you can create things in less than 30 minutes. Although I added to the booking system for this course, the actual basic functionality of registering for the course, and then there was 3 different price points, 37, 67, and 97. And so those 3 different price points came in at different points. And it was about 30 minutes from thinking of creating the course to actually having a booking page live connected to Stripe, including an admin system showing me all the bookings, notification system, showing me errors. There's a couple of people that when they registered, they didn't set up their account. So making it auto create their account for them because I didn't have a way of getting it to pick that up. So I was constantly looking at how it was working. I even added just yesterday a abandoned cart scenario. So if they got as far as Stripe, but then they didn't pay, it sent them an email after 3 hours saying, hey, it doesn't look like you booked. This price is ending soon. Go ahead and book quickly. And then even after all of that, still this morning, there was 2 people in my Discord server asking me why the price went up to $97 this morning. It's like I emailed. I mean, come on, some of you probably got 10 emails about this course. I think I emailed people enough about it. So yeah, that whole process took about 30 minutes plus a few hours of adding more features later on. And that is where we're going to get to today, is we're going to get to that beginning part before we move on. So you see my little usage clock here is going round. It's like 3/4 of the way through, and that resets at 5. So hopefully I'll have enough power to get through the rest of the day before it cuts me off with my plan. So this has created the storage bucket. The storage bucket is where files are going to go. So the video files, the images, logos, things like that are all stored in a storage bucket. And there we go. It created a course-video storage bucket. Good job, Sylvia. Here we go. This is Sylvia's app. Begin your voice profile. Continue to check out. It's redirecting me. I can now pay, and I'm not going to test that part. But yep, everything is working. You did it. There we are. It's working great. Now, one thing it does seem to do. Oh no, that's Vincent. Yep, everything looks good. Good job, Sylvia. Peter, how are you getting on? Are you? Oh, I'm logged in now. Good. The login is now working. I still can't read half of this text. Let me just refresh and make sure I've got the latest. Yeah, it's still very, very hard to read, Peter. You need to work on your contrasting text. And now this is actually a good thing to do. I haven't covered this yet, and I need to. Let me cover this once this is finished. But the next thing that you can do when you're asking it to change something is to actually send a screenshot. So if it's created the onboarding pages, you can you can go into Stripe and create 100% coupon, and then I can go through and use the 100% coupon. I'd love to be able to pay you $97, but you already paid less than that for this course, and that doesn't make business sense. But if you go into Stripe, do a search in the search box for coupons, add a coupon, and just give me that coupon code. Now, bear in mind, though, you might need to prompt to ask Claude to add a promo code. Yes, you do. You don't have promo code switched on, so you'll need to prompt. Let me give you the prompt in chat. Please activate promo codes on the checkout for Stripe so that we can test with a 100% coupon. So you can do it fast enough. It's super easy. You're going to go to Stripe. You're going to type in coupons. It's going to come up, create a coupon. You're going to create a coupon. You're going to assign it to only this product so that no one can use that for any other products that you have. And then you're going to give it a coupon code at the bottom of the coupon creation. It says add public codes. Create a code such as AI app builders 99, something like that. And away you go. You've got this, Sylvia. You've got this. Awesome. All right. Let me go back to my guy, see what he's up to. All 5 phases are now complete. The platform is fully built and deployed ready for phase 5, branding, polish, and QA, whenever you want to do it. Okay, so what I want to do is ask it, can you ensure that mark@aiapp.builders is set as an admin? Okay, so this is basically telling it what my login is, and I want to make sure that I've been given admin permissions. Okay, so it's going to go and organize that for me. While it's doing that, we can go back to our Netlify, and we can go to deploys, and we can see that it's deployed that latest thing just 3 minutes ago. So now we're going to go to ninjatricks.netlify.app, and now I'm logged in. I can go to /admin, can I? Admin gives me a blank page. And there is nothing in console. You can get to console by pressing Control Shift and I or Command Option I on a Mac. And you'll have to mute me, Sylvia, when you need to concentrate. Yeah, so this admin /admin is just a blank page. So we're going to ask it to sort that out in just a second. Right now it's updating something, so it could be that this is fixing it. And so let's just refresh this page. Well, actually, it needs to deploy it first, and it hasn't deployed it yet. Although it could have been just a database page. So let's just tell it. When I am logged in as mark@aiapp.builders and go to /admin, I get a blank page with no console errors. So 3-step prompt process. When I log in as mark@aiapp.builders, you just get that actually looking like an email address. mark@aiapp.builders. That's what I did. And I go to /admin. That's what I did. I get a blank page with no console errors. That's what happened. Please ensure that I am presented with the admin dashboard. And that's what I expected to happen. All right. Now, while it's working on that, I am going to go and set up my new account with Sylvia's app. So this is your first public test. And you've got the promo code working. Going to put in the promo code, click on apply. That reduced it down to 100. Now it's to 0, I mean. Now it doesn't ask me for my billing details anymore. It just asks me to complete my order with my email address, and I can begin my profile. And here's that onboarding that you were talking about. Now, again, same as with Peter here, be careful on your contrasting colors. You know, some of your clients are going to be old like me, and they're going to find it hard to answer that. Who do you serve? Small business owners who want to use AI better. What transformation do you want to create for her? Okay, it's not a her. They're all different, but I want them to be able to use AI in every aspect of their life. What is your method or framework for getting her there? I explain AI and the benefits of AI and lots of use cases on how they're going to use AI to make their life better. What does it look like when she's done the work with you? She is over the moon and dances around the street singing, Mark is awesome, Mark is awesome. I can't believe how much Mark is awesome. Okay, and then we click continue. Then read back what you just wrote about your work. Does the body say yes to this? Yes, yes, absolutely. My body says yes to this. Okay, now we've got where did work begin? So I'm not going to go through all of this. So I'm just going to put blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is nice that I can't click continue until I have got all the way through. Yes, my body. Now this is read your story back. That's on the previous page. I can't actually see that. It would be nice if it showed me that at the top. Like, what did I put? And is that what I meant? That would be nice if it resaid that at the top. Okay. Blah blah. Blah blah. Yes, my body's amazing. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Again, all these things where you're asking me to like refer back to what I just said. It would be nice if it was repeated at the top. Exactly. All you're going to do, Sylvia, is you're going to say when they are asked to clarify whether this was what they resonate with, please have their answers printed at the top so that they can read through them and know what they wrote. I'm going to click the orange button to see what it does. Okay, so that gave me a fail to generate the speech error. And that looks like there's an issue with the Netlify function. And so here, what you're going to do is you're going to take a screenshot of this and say, when I got through the onboarding survey, I got this following error, and then you can paste the error in there, and the console error, which is over here, and you get to that by pressing Command Option I on your Mac, Control Shift and I on a PC, and you can right click and click Copy Console, and now you're going to put all of that into a prompt. Still using the 3-step prompt process, and you're going to say, when I get to the end of the onboarding survey and click the Generate My Speech button, I get the following error: failed to generate speech. Please T again. The console error, Command, Option, and I, Sylvia, to get the console errors, which is this on the right-hand side here. And this is very helpful to the AI builder to know what the error is, so it knows where to fix it. In this case, it's your function to generate the speech that is not working. Now, once you've fixed it, I can probably test it without refreshing by pressing this button again. So let me know once you've prompted to get that fixed. If you want to, you can take a screenshot of my shared screen and give it to Claude. Although I've just moved away from it, so let me know if you need me to go back so you can take a screenshot. Okay, so what this is doing is it's complaining that it can't see it on the preview. And obviously it doesn't have access to my Claude because it's not Claude Cowork. And so sometimes when you're testing, it's easier to test live rather than locally. But it's doing an update for me on mine. How's everyone else doing? We have 3 live apps. Janelle, yours is live too, right? The one that we were working on yesterday? That's pretty cool. Out of all the people that are actually going through this and not doing it later. No domain. We can still test it with the netlify.app address if you want to. Fixing my contrast issues. Good job. Starting to add content. Good job. This is Janelle's that she's working on. Welcome back. Maybe I don't have an account. This is something that new. Oh, here we go. Enter your email address and we'll get you set up. Okay. So if this is a unified login, which I really, really like, it shouldn't say welcome back if I'm new. It should only say welcome back if it has a cookie or something that says I've been there before. All right. Am I a trainer or a client? I'm going to be a trainer. What is my full name? Do you work at a gym or are you a head trainer? No, I'm independent. I don't like going to the gym. Awesome. I'm not going to go that far into your app. You're all set. Your trainer account has been created. Sign in now. Sign in now. Okay, that sign in now button doesn't work. It just does nothing. Let me see if it's throwing a console error. Nope. So once you go through and sign up as a trainer, the sign in now button doesn't do anything. All right, but now it knows that I have an account. And boom, I'm now logged in as a trainer. I can look at my team and my clients, my exercise library, my program builder, my bookings, my progress and reports, nutritional stuff. This looks pretty cool. This is basically elevated study for gym coaches. I love it. Now, are you going to put a directory, a Yelp style system here so you can search for a local trainer? As part of their subscription, they can be listed on that, which will encourage more people to sign up if they want to be listed. So that's pretty cool. All right. We are making good progress, guys. Is there anybody that is super stuck that needs my help and isn't saying anything? Now is the time to tell me, and not an hour after we finish the course where you tell me you were stuck, because I can't fix it after the course. I can fix it now. Well, actually, I can fix it after the course. Janelle, could you throw the done with you link into the chat? If anyone wants help after this, I am available for one-to-one coaching. And there we go. You can book me there. That gives you direct access to my coaching. In fact, you can use that one there is for your initial call. But as you've done this course, I will let you use this link, which will give. Oh, that didn't work. Give me 1 second. There, that link, which will give you a cheaper hour with me instead of the initial link. So, oh, well done, thank you. Yeah, that will allow you to book me for an hour of one-to-one. We can fix any bugs you might be having, and you know, whatever you need. So if anyone gets stuck after this, do you conduct Claude design training? Not really. I can, you know, help you with any feature, but I don't really do Claude design stuff. I mainly deal with backend code and the techie side of things. All right. Now, as far as design for your app, if you find a nice page that you like, take a screenshot of that and then give it to your Claude code and say, I really like this app. I really like this site, or I really like the layout of this. Can you make my app use that same layout? And it will use that screenshot as a template to redesign yours. So that might be helpful for some of you, especially those with that contrasting issue. All right, I am going to go and see what my app is looking like now. Hopefully it has deployed the latest update. Let me sign out and sign back in again. Oh, there we go. Now I have an admin link, and here is my admin. So I can add a new course. I can set the products. I can see all my orders. I can see all my students. I'm the only student, and I haven't enrolled in any courses yet. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new course. And this course is going to be called App in a Day. And the course slug is going to be called app-in-a-day. And the subtitle is Learn Claude Code in just 5 hours. Easily create an app with Claude Code, setting up your whole system and learning how to prompt like a pro. Now, I don't have a cover image. Actually, I probably do. I could probably go here, go to courses, and we'll just grab this image here. Save image as, and boom, we'll save that. And then we're going to go ahead and, oh, it wants an image URL, and I hate this. I don't know the image URL for this image. I mean, I could get it by just clicking right click and copy the image URL, but that doesn't help me very much. So I'm going to leave it blank, and then I'm going to ask it to create an uploading function to allow me to upload the image. Okay, it is instant, all content unlocked immediately, and we're going to make it published. So there is my first course I've already created. But now I'm going to go ahead and ask Claude Code to handle that other issue. So first thing first, I created a screenshot of where I wanted it to update. So I'm going to go to my screenshots, and it was this one here. Give it the screenshot, and then I need to say, when creating a course, it asks for the image URL for the cover image. Please add an uploader for people that want to simply add an image and upload it to a storage bucket. All right, now it's adding that. Yeah, Sylvia, I did one for, oh, what was his name? Who's the personal development guy that stands on stage in front of 10,000 people? I forget his name now. Anyway, we did a Tony, yes, Tony, I wanted to say Tony Stark. Tony Robbins, the big man. Yeah, exactly, him. The big man being Tony Robbins, not the big man being Santa, who is also the big man. But yes, Tony Robbins we did a side-by-side comparison. No, Clinton's webpage is not good. He needs some serious help. Anyway, moving on. Tony's website is awesome, and so we did a side-by-side comparison, creating a web page for a coach using the layout of Tony Robbins, and it created a really good web page by just giving it that URL. All right, this is running commit. It's fixing that. That wasn't really an error. It was just a usability issue. And so we should very soon be able to click edit and then be able to upload our 245. Okay, just deployed it. So here we're going to refresh, and we're going to click on edit. And now I can upload an image. I can go to my downloads. I can give it the image I wanted. It uploaded it to Supabase and gave us the URL. And now we can click save. So now what we'll do is we'll come out of the admin area, and boom, I have a course management system. I have my course listed on the front page. Students can go in and register for this. It's coming soon. So right now, in fact, if I get this finished in the next hour and a quarter, it could be that you guys will end up getting a coupon code to be able to watch the recordings in my new system, which is pretty impressive, right? I've created a whole course training system while we've been talking. So let's go to admin, products and pricing. We're going to create a new product, which is app in a day recording. It's a single course, and the price is going to be $97. And we're linking it to that course here. So we created the course first, and we're going to sync that to Stripe, and it failed on us. So here, again, we're going to use the 3-step prompt process. We're going to take a screenshot of the page. We're going to right-click and click Copy Console on the console. And then we're going to go back to here. And when I am in admin and I add a product with a course linked to it, it gives me an error. Please make sure the sync with Stripe is working fully and the product is created accordingly. And then I can add that screenshot in just to give it extra clarity. And we'll send it off and we get that fixed. Awesome. How's everyone doing? We don't have many questions. Does that mean that we're covering everything, or people are hiding under a rock? Don't hide under a rock. Now's the time to ask. I want to make sure that we're covering everything. Because if you can build an app while you're learning in a few hours, imagine what you can do tomorrow. I'm going to set up an admin account so I can edit my blog post. Okay, simple prompt. I create an account with this email. Please assign it as an admin and create an admin dashboard so that I can control the content and see the users that have signed up. Words to that effect. I'll have you all prompting like a pro. You just need to be as descriptive as possible. Treat Claude Code as a non-English speaking developer who's sitting at a desk next to you, and you need to explain to it what you want. So you want to be clear and precise, and where possible, use the 3-step prompt process, and away you go. Okay, now it's asking me to test creating the product again. So, oh, I went to the wrong place. Did I just close that? How annoying. Oh, well, I just do it one more time. So we're going to go to admin and products. There are no products. We're going to add a new product. It's called App in a Day. It's a single course. It's $97. Who's happy that they paid $37 for this and not $97? And we are going to save and sync to Stripe. And boom, now we have a product. So now we'll go back to here. Oh, wait, it says 97 cents, not $97. So let me just see what I did wrong there. We're going to edit this. No, we're going to edit the product. I didn't put .00. Okay, so this is actually a Stripe issue. Well, it's a coding issue, but with Stripe. Stripe does everything in cents. So even though I put 9700.00, it classes it as 97 cents and not dollars. So here we're going to prompt with that. When adding a product to Stripe, I typed 97.00 as the price, and it added it as 97 cents. Please ensure that the decimal is working correctly and the price is set up correctly at $97 instead of 97 cents. So the system I'm using there is called Whisperflow. It works on Macs and PC. It is extremely awesome, especially for me because I type a lot. My prompts are normally more than 2 sentences. And so especially when I'm training, you don't want to hear me go, I'm typing this really, really slowly and blah, blah, blah. Oh, and Janelle just put my link in there. I think you get a free month if you use my affiliate link. So I love Whisperflow. It's awesome. Let me show you some really cool yeah, I can do that. We've got plenty of time, Suresh. I will cover GitHub for you. This isn't going to be for everybody. So if everyone has got their system working without GitHub, for now you don't need to worry about GitHub. I wouldn't complicate things right now. But for those of you wanting to use GitHub as a middle place for this, you're going to go to github.com. You're going to sign in. Let me just go to the right URL. You're going to sign in and you're going to create a new repository for your app. So in this case, Ninja Tricks. I'm just going to call it Ninja Tricks. Okay. This is very, 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 very important. Okay. For the choose visibility, you must select private. If you select public, your code and all of your public keys will be available to everybody. And so please, please, please always make sure you use private. And so the next thing you will do is click Create Repository. And now we've got Ninja Tricks set up as a repository. Now you need to go back to Claude Code and make sure you have the GitHub connector. So you're going to go to connectors, manage connectors. If you don't see GitHub in here, and you can then click on add and make sure you've got the GitHub integration set up and connected. So you should see the word GitHub. Yes, private in when you're setting up the repository in GitHub. It's an option just after you set the name. It asks you whether it's public or private. Never create a public GitHub unless you're creating open source software that you're happy for anyone to just download the whole lot of source code. And then you wouldn't have public keys in there either. There's a different way of doing it. Okay, so once you've got GitHub connected to Claude, the next thing you're going to do is prompt. Currently, we are pushing the local files directly to Netlify. I have just set up a GitHub repository. Please connect this app to my GitHub repository and connect Netlify to that same GitHub repository. So here we're just adding that middleman into the mix. So we're doing everything by prompting. Okay, so now it's asking me, what is the GitHub repository URL? Sometimes it opens up a little modal that you can select one, but here we're just taking the URL from GitHub. GitHub.com/markpsummers/ninjatricks is what we're using. And then we're going to go back here and we're just going to paste it into our prompt. So it basically asked us a question. Janelle, you are amazing. So for those of you that need a better description, Janelle's put a good description for both GitHub and Netlify. And now it's updating my deployment process rather than sending it from my local computer straight to Netlify. It's going to send it from my local computer to GitHub, and GitHub is going to send it to Netlify. Sylvia, I'm sure she's already done that. Janelle is very organized. She is an angel. She doesn't get paid for what she does on these courses, but she is a godsend, helping with the chat and making sure things don't get missed. So I appreciate everything you do, Janelle. You're amazing. One day I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to be like knocking on Janelle's door and go, hey, here's my thank you. It's going to be a golden taxi or something. It's going to be great. It literally keeps you awake. All right, so now it's updating the way that the deployment works. So if we go and look at the deployment settings, we can see that it's now connected to this GitHub repository rather than just being connected directly. And so under deploys now, we do see that it failed to deploy, failed during prepping the repo, unable to access the repository. The repository has been deleted. Well, it hasn't, but let's work on that. It is still running the site setup, so it could be still working on that. And be careful with things like that, where you see there's an error and then you get frustrated. If it's still working, then we need to just be a bit patient. And you know it's working because this counter is still going up. If that counter isn't there, then it's not doing anything, and that's the time to go, hey, this is broken or that's broken. Awesome. Well, we're moving into our last hour, and just let me know if you got stuck anywhere. Is there anything else you want to cover? Who was it that asked about GitHub? Suresh, hopefully that covers your GitHub question. I'm not going to cover it in full here. I'm going to give you just the theory of it, but you can also add staging sites. So you have a different branch of your GitHub called staging, and then Netlify will then create staging dot your domain. So you can then test with staging and then push it to the main branch. That's a little bit advanced for this course, but you can definitely do that once you start using Netlify. In fact, that's what I do for the EcoCircle network project. We have two versions, a staging version and a live version, so that it doesn't mess up. Okay, building is working. One thing I note is the installation ID is null in Netlify, which means that Netlify's GitHub app may not be authorized to watch your repo. Okay, well, it is authorized because it's been doing stuff. So let's just see if that fixed itself. It did. There we go. Deploy preview. Oh, that's the preview, but production isn't working. No, that's all good. Did we push all of the data? Let's go back to our Ninja tricks. Yep, the data is there. I broke it now. Suresh, I blame you. It was how do I need to tell Claude Code to read? Yes. So there was a prompt that I gave it back here. Currently, we are pushing directly to Netlify. Let me put this into the Google Doc, and that will help you prompts. There you go. Initiate GitHub. There we are. I put it into the document. Yes, Sylvia. Claude Code is effectively an agent. He's your coder. 00 code instead of 007. Correct. In any changes you want in anything, the three-step prompt process will give you better results than just a one-step process. I want this. Explaining exactly where and what you're needing to do. It's going to cover all of that. Once it's done, every Git push. So far, the deploy does not seem to be working. Please update all code in the Git repository to see if we can initiate a new deployment. Oh, Janelle, I love that. That is lovely. The description between Famous AI and Claude Code it's great. Both of them have their place, very much so. They have their place. Configuration, build, employ, continuous deployment. Here it failed. Here we go. Without cache, that's what we want. No, it's still failing. Oh, it worked in 305. Oh, damn it. I broke it by asking it to redo it. I'm sorry, I broke it by redeploying a previous build. The build that you just pushed did actually work. Please repush one more time. All right. We have dried up on questions. So we have just less than an hour left. What are you wanting to add to your app that that you haven't yet added? Is there a feature that you feel is going to be tough to add? Let's look at all those. Let's look at all those questions. Just I want to make sure that you're asking them now because it's going to be hard to. No, Suresh. Claude Cowork is not a RAG system. Claude Cowork is a remote control AI engine for Chrome. It's a Chrome extension, basically. I haven't wired up Stripe yet, so I'll be asking Sylvia. Awesome. Well, don't ask Sylvia, ask Claude Code. Now let's connect to Stripe. It will tell you which keys it needs. In fact, you can under connectors, you can add Stripe as an MCP. And then what it will do is it will download your keys and things like that and set up your products and everything else for you. So you can when you're wanting to use a different app to connect to your app, see if there's an MCP first, a connector first, because that can make life a lot easier. Awesome. Now, did I fix my app? I did. At 3:05, it's now working. Great. So we're going to go back to here. We're going to refresh. And now we're going to edit this. We're going to say that it's not 97 cents. $97. Save. Boom, now it's $97. Okay, there aren't any orders. There aren't any students apart from me. So that's great. Now let's go to just slash the home page. Oops, go to the home page. And boom, I can enroll now. It's setting up a payment. And this is the embedded payment system. So we're not going off to a payment page. We are doing everything within the app. However, there's a few issues here. I wouldn't fill in this page because it's not confirming how much money it's going to debit on this page. Also, I can't give promo codes. So I want to be able to do both of those. And I'm going to get my little agent to do that. So here we go. That is now working. Thank you. The next thing we're going to do is update the payment page for a course. currently when I get to the credit card form, it is not confirming how much it's actually going to debit. This is a red flag for some people, and it needs to be clear how much is going to be debited. See screenshot, which is what is currently showing. Okay, so we're going to add that screenshot that we took. Boom, there it is. I also want it to please create a Stripe coupon system within admin that allows me to create coupons attached to a particular product. This coupon should be able to be used on the Stripe payment page so that a user can get a discount on a particular course. Okay, so we're actually giving it two things in one here. We're giving it a fix this error and add this feature all at the same time. Now, both of them are very detailed prompts. Janelle, you are not going to look back. I would definitely do it over a holiday weekend when you're closed or something like that. But you're not going to look back. Well, in fact, you can get it all working with a Netlify backdoor and then move it over because you're still going to be connected to the same Supabase. So there's no reason why you couldn't do it in a day. Just moving it over, nothing's going to break because it's the same code, but you're going to be able to fix a lot of stuff that you've been wanting to fix. And I love it being called the Massive app. It's pretty cool. Yes, Suresh. The nicest thing to do with branding is ask chat to create you a branding brief for your branding, and then give the MD file for the branding brief to Claude Code and say, please use this branding brief in everything that you do. And that way it will always refer back to the branding brief anytime it needs to add something. And so the more detailed that branding brief is, the better your branding and your corporate image is going to look. Awesome. All right. Let me ask a question out there. Out of the people that have actually been working through this, not the people that are just learning, how much do you feel that you have completed that you expected to be completed? So I want this out of 10. 10 being I completed as much as I expected or more, and 2 being I'm 20% through what I expected to be done. I want to give me a gauge on how much is left that you expected to be at by 4 o'clock today. If it's easier to give me a percentage rather than a 1 to 10 number, that's fine too. Or you're all so busy coding and iterating. Out of 22 tasks, you have 4 left. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You should better do those 4 tasks in the next 47 minutes. Yeah, so Peter, because those emails are coming from Supabase and not from your Mailgun account, you might find them in the spam folder quite often. So that's where they sometimes get hidden. And what are you fighting with Stripe? What is going wrong there? Janelle's further than she expected to be. That's awesome. Now it's a case of iterating. This is where it gets really addictive. And you're like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. You really need to focus, though, on what the core MVP is and how you get that launched. Do the iteration after you launch. So now you start getting people signing up, you start using it, and while you're using it, you're adding more features. Oh, okay. All right. That's not so bad, other than it's annoying, but at least it's a login issue rather than a bug. All right. Now my little friend here has created a new feature. And where's my admin gone? Oh, there it is. Admin coupons. So I now have coupons here. Going to create a new coupon, and this is going to be AI app in a day 0620 ZZ. Okay, I'm going to copy that so we can use it later. Select a product, app in a day. We're going to give a percentage, 100%, and the expiry date is going to be the 24th. Create coupon. Oh, nearest valid. You can't give 100%. Okay. Let me ask Claude why I can't. I attempted to create a coupon for 100% off, and it said I couldn't. It said I would need to create it for 99.01%. Is this an issue with our app and something we can fix? My Stripe implementation is not done since it's part of my phase 2. I completed phase 1 and now running phase 2. So definitely awesome. Thank you, guys. For those of you that have had an amazing time, and only those of you that have had an amazing time, the amazing Janelle is about to put my Trustpilot link there. If you think I have given a 5-star service, please, please, please say something nice in Trustpilot. If you think I've given less than 5 stars, don't tell Trustpilot, tell me directly to my face, so that I can fix it. I've worked very, very hard on my Trustpilot to get to where I am in Trustpilot, and so it's important for me that if I could have improved in any way, don't tell Trustpilot, tell me, and so I can improve and make it right. So that's there. Appreciate anyone that's willing to say nice words about the course, etc. It's going to help us get more people the next time I do the course. Oh, and the other thing is that if I do the course live, everyone that's attended today can attend all my future app in a day courses, like this course. You'll be able to attend all my future ones for free. So if you want to attend again, I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing this again. I need to work out how I get more people in the room. I did expect about 5 times more than I got to be in the room, and so I need to fix that first. But I am more of a builder than a marketer, and so the fact that people were moaning this morning that they couldn't get in, that's shows that it's still needed. But so I'm not sure when it's going to be. Anyway, You guys will get invited. You'll get a 100% coupon. You'll be able to attend every time, even if it's in a year's time and I've got a new updated course. You basically got the course at a great price and will be able to come as many times as you like. Now, it must be you. You can't give your access to somebody else. Don't do that. I will find out. And then you'll lose all access, and that isn't going to be good. Yes, please build that. So Stripe contains not a bug. Stripe doesn't allow 100% off coupons because card payment networks require a minimum charge. You can fix this properly, though. If the discount is 100%, we skip the payment flow entirely and enroll the user directly. This is the right approach. Create the Stripe coupon, allow 100% without sending it to Stripe. Store locally only. Okay, perfect. Okay, getting it ready by mid-July should be easy peasy, Sylvia. So good luck with that. Book's coming out. Awesome. Good luck. That's awesome. That's exactly what I did with my book that I wrote last year in the front page. Near the front page, there is a QR code that goes to the app and a QR code that goes to the workbook. And so really easy. You can monitor how many people are accessing those pages. And so that's a great thing to do when you've got a book out, to put QR codes to your app in the book. Make it prominent in the front page so that everyone sees it. Even mention it in the book as well, and with a QR code halfway through, just in case people miss it. Awesome. All right. Well, we are getting there. Iterate. Link in chat for what? The book or my app or both? Okay. I will need to go to Amazon and find the link to the book. I don't think that my book is in. Oh, here we go. Buy book, Amazon. Okay, there is the link for the book. And this should be the link for the app. But for some reason, the app icons are not there. I haven't actually looked at this page for a long time. So you're not actually going to get the app from that page. But I obviously have. The interesting thing is this app, this page is WordPress. And so this was all created way before AI building stuff. And so I need to redo this page. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I love it. It's all about relationships, and I wrote it about 6 months after my last relationship ended, and it is everything I have learned in about relationships after 3 divorces. So hopefully you'll like my methodology that I talk about in how to have a better relationship. How are we doing over here? Are you done? You're done. Let's go check out what it created for me. So we're going to refresh this. Always make sure when you've made an update that you go ahead and press refresh. So you're using the latest code. All right, that's the code. Select the product. Percentage is going to be 100. Now it's allowing me to do 100. And we're going to expire on the 24th. Nope, it still says, let me just make sure it's deployed. 322, yes. So it did deploy the latest update. That's not page 1. Select the product, percentage 100, and create coupon. No, it's still giving me that same error. So I just took a screenshot of the error. Going to go ahead and give that back to Claude Code. Using screenshots is a really important thing to do. People forget about it, but it just gives it much easier. Still getting the error when adding a coupon. Please ensure that 100% off coupons are able to be created and used for ordering courses. Brilliant. Any other questions, guys? We're coming up to the last 30 minutes of our day, and I would love to make sure I've answered all of your questions. So doesn't matter whether it's about something we did way back at the beginning, something we did just now, something we haven't done and you thought we were going to cover, please ask it now so I've got time to answer it for you. And then, as I say, if you need me in the future, I'm available to be booked by the hour on a one-to-one basis. And I've got this error in Claude attempting to talk to Supabase. The connector permission setting in the UI controls what I can read from Supabase via MCP, but actual write access to run DDL migrations needs a personal token, which with the right scope. Okay. So here, now I can't show you how I fixed this, but I did this via creating a supabase.md file. So I would ask it, can I put my access token in a supabase.md file? And missed your question. I'll go back to it, Suresh. Just give me a second. 4:23, is that Eastern time? Because it's not 4:23 yet. But I'll go back to it and see if I can find it. Yeah, so Janelle, just ask it, how do you add the access token? And then you'll do it via adding a supabase.md file in the .claude folder. I can't show you mine because obviously it's got my access tokens in it, and that's not something I want to broadcast to the world. Let me go back to 4:23 or 3:23. In the real world development process, we typically have 3 environments. Yes. Before any source code changes are deployed to production, they are first implemented in development. Yes. So this is all done with GitHub. You can create 3 branches: the development, the test, and the production. So these are branches in your GitHub folder. Again, this is out of scope for this beginner's course, but there's no reason why you can't do it with what you've learned. All you're going to do is ask, and in fact, let me go to EcoCircle here, and you'll see that in EcoCircle, I have a development branch and a main branch. So I develop in the development branch, and then I publish that, and that's under one URL. Everybody tests it, and then once it's live, so back up here, you'll see please push all of this to the live site and then switch back to development. So this is me using Claude code to do exactly what you said. So they're called branches. So right now you're publishing the main branch, and you only have a main branch, but you would just prompt to say, please create a development branch and a test branch, and allow me to check out my code and publish it in a different way, and then submit that to a dev and a test Netlify project. And that way you'll have 3 different URLs to be able to test the 3 different things. Hopefully that's clear to you and didn't lose everybody else. Vincent says, I want to extract data from an invoice. I have an OpenAI key connected. Is there anything else I could do for a structural better data extraction? OpenAI has a very good vision model. So if you're sending an invoice and you're asking it to look, I would use OpenAI Vision. I haven't used Claude's AI for vision stuff yet. I haven't tested it, so I can't speak to how well that does, but you can definitely use an OpenAI key within your Claude coded app. It's not going to complain that you're using a different model. Once you're live and then you make changes afterwards, which impacts the database, does the production data remain safe and portable to a new database? Yeah, so the database, normally you would keep one database, but you can branch Supabase databases too, in the same way I was just telling Suresh. I haven't done that for any of my recent apps, just because I like living life on the edge. But if you're making major changes to the database, you could clone it and use that as your backup. The problem with that is then testing is, it kind of, you're having to flip from one database to another when you're testing. So you can, in Supabase, create branches. It uses GitHub as well to create those branches. And yeah, it's kind of a more advanced function, and let me just get this coupon created. See if it works this time. Yay, it did. All right. Although now I've made it expire never, but that's okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to, well, let's log in, browse the courses, click on this course, enroll now. And it isn't asking me for my coupon code. So let me just refresh this page. Aha, now it is. I just haven't refreshed. So I'm going to put in my coupon code, click apply, and boom, it's now asking me for nothing. I then click enroll, go to my courses, and now I have access to this course. Now there isn't any data in there. I haven't done that. But this is possible that when I tell you that the recordings are ready, you're now going to be looking at it through Ninja Tricks, and I'll send you a coupon so that you can get to it for free. How about that? The app that you're going to be watching the recordings on was created in the app itself. That's pretty cool. Awesome. We are 27 minutes towards the end. Are there any other questions? I want to make sure I've answered everything for you. Okay, I am going to give you a Absolutely, Suresh. Let's put this here. Okay, everyone that English is not their first language, put in the chat what your first language is. Can you use various codes for discounts? Yep, you just ask it. Just ask it. And for mine, I created a Hindi. Awesome, Suresh. Give me two other first languages. Vincent, I'm looking at you. I need a response from you. Janelle, I know you speak New Zealandish. Spanish and Dutch for English. Awesome. Here we go. Here's our prompt. Please add a UI translator for Hindi, Spanish, and Dutch so that the user can change the language of the main UI of the site to those languages. Please use Claude API AI key to translate all content that the user adds for the course. Okay, so here we're asking it, one, to change the UI into those three languages, and two, create a function that when the course content is added, it will automatically translate that course content into those three different languages. Okay, so it's going to ask me in a minute for my Claude API key because it doesn't know it. But this is really pushing for an MVP. This is really pushing it to its limits. Peter, are you from New Zealand as well? Oh, cool. So it's early for you. I appreciate you both being up. Oh, you're living in the USA. Okay. All right. You didn't have to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning like Janelle did then. All right. While it's doing that, I'm going to go and find my Claude API key. Keep those questions coming, guys. When we finish in 23 minutes time, I won't be able to answer any more questions. Well, I can, but you just need to book me for time. Okay, so it's installing the Anthropic SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit. I'd like cake. I had a brownie for lunch. It was nice. My housemate bought brownies the other day and I made her leave one. Yes, I can. Well, actually, better still, Janelle probably can quicker than me. Yes, you can add PayPal. You can't add just debit and credit cards, i.e. storing the raw data. it's not good practice to just be collecting credit cards and putting them in a database. But you can definitely add PayPal in the same way as you add Stripe. Please add PayPal as a payment provider, and then it will tell you what keys you need, and everything will be amazing. It's all about just asking. So there's no special way of how do you add PayPal or how do you add authorize.net. You just ask, can you create my payment gateway using PayPal? Can you create my payment gateway using Stripe? Can you create my payment gateway using authorize.net? And you're welcome, Sylvia. I'm glad you both had great success. And just because you're a couple doesn't mean you get away with only putting one review on Trustpilot. LOL. Thank you, Peter. Much appreciated. Here we go. Over here, we've already got this little drop down, and I'm going to select, oh, I thought I'd selected Hindi. So it's not quite working yet. We have the drop down. We just don't have the functionality of the drop down. Oh, did that work? No. No. Not quite working yet. It's coming though. This is a bit squished, the UI of this. That's English. English works, but the others don't work yet. Okay, now it's asking me to add that Anthropic API key. So that's going to go in the net. That's the secret key, remember? So it goes into the Netlify environment unless it says it's a Supabase secret key. So we're going to go back to Netlify. We're going to go to project configuration, environment variables, add a single variable. It's a secret, and the name is Anthropic API key. And then down here, we want to make sure that people can't see it. And we're going to go ahead and paste that key in here, and in here, and in here, and finally in here. And then we're going to click create variable. And so now we have our AI API key. In my case, it's Anthropic. You might have OpenAI in there as well. And that's all good. All right. Now let's see. Oh, it's still asking me to do stuff. Allow. The API key isn't in the environment directly. You'll need to add. I just did that. So you must have just missed it. It's editing the course card now. And so now it's going to be working on, oh, look, here we go. It's going to be working on those translations now. So the UI, oh, it works in Spanish. It changes everything. Works in Dutch. Suresh. Oh, no, there we go. We've got it in Hindi for you, Suresh. So what was that? One prompt, and we ended up with it all in different languages. And now the other thing I asked it to do, which is what it's building now, is when I add the coursework, I'm going to add it in English because my Hindi is very rough, very rough. And so, but when I add it in English, it's now going to translate all the content that I add into the, please add the translator. Yes, I definitely will. Thank you for the reminder, Sylvia. Vincent, you're slacking with the add the prompt. In fact, I probably should put this in the club thing. In fact, I probably should tell you guys about the club because not all of you will know about my AI app building club. What this does is it's really nice set of tools for when you're building apps, and it gives you access to, thank you, Janelle, knew you were going to do that. You're amazing. It gives you access, oh, I don't even know what my password is. It gives you access to a whole load of really cool things, including the prompt snippets. And these prompt snippets are really cool. So add multi-language to my app. Allow the app to be translated into multiple languages. And then we paste the prompt. Oh, no. Please add a UI translator. There we go. Save snippet. There we go. Awesome. It's been added there, and I'll also add it to the document as well. For those of you that aren't club members yet. Boom. There we go. It's in the document. All right, what have we got here? No one knows we're a couple. Our family names are different. Peter is only a Hill. I'm the only globally Becca Hill. Right, nice. Super cool. Thank you. Done that. That's the club link. Could we get from Claude Code little country flag icons added inside our app where the buyer users can click on the app and change it to that language? Absolutely. Do you know how we're going to do that? We're going to do it with a prompt. So over here, we don't have flags. So we're going to say, for the language dropdown, please add country flags to the left of the name. So it's really easy for the user to find the language by their flag. Boom. Done. That's on its way. Now, why that's doing that, we want to find out how the translator works when we're building content. So we're going to go back to admin. We're going to go to the courses. We're going to go to the modules, and we're going to add a new module called Getting Started. This is basically going to be the first hour of the course. Then we're going to add a lesson. And that lesson, where do I put the lesson details? Here, the lesson is going to be accounts and apps required before the course starts. Okay, and it's a text lesson. We're not going to have a free preview. And here we can add the heading. Required accounts. Then we're going to add a paragraph. Please make sure you have the following accounts set up before the course starts. And then we're going to have a video, which is going to be the first hour where we talk about the accounts that you need and everything else. Okay, click on save, and now we've created that. Now, I don't see an option here of how that's going to translate it. So let's go back. Oh, we do have now our flags. This is what you asked for, Sylvia. The flags are over here. Oh, that's a good link to put out, Janelle. That's my YouTube link. And so if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, definitely worth being subscribed. There's a lot of video on Famous there, and over the next couple of months, there's going to be even more videos on Claude Code. So it's definitely worth being subscribed so you've got access to that. But what I want to do is read about the dynamic course content. When you switch to a non-English language, course names are sent to Claude for translation. Results cached in memory for the session, so each string is only translated once. Okay, so now then, if I refresh this, oh, well, actually, I probably should look at it live because it won't have access to my Claude code. We're going to go and just see whether that works because we've already signed up. If I go to my courses and I'm going to switch this to Hindi, and so now the button changed, but the actual course content didn't. This didn't change. So let me take a screenshot of this, and then we're going to go back to Claude Code, use the three-step prompt process, and get it to fix it. So add files into my screenshots, select the screenshots. When switching the app to Hindi and then going to view a course, I am still seeing the course content in English. Please ensure that the first time a course is translated, the translation is stored in the database so that all other users can see the translation. This should be done only once for all users and not on a per session basis. Boom, getting that done. All right, we have 9 minutes left. Are there any burning questions? I am here to answer them. Burning questions, not burning questions, questions that are only slightly on fire. Now is the time to make sure you ask them. Because without that, I cannot help. If you are watching this because you bought the content and you can't ask questions because you don't have access, I will probably have by now created a question bot in the course content. You can ask questions live on live in the course function. So hopefully you'll see that somewhere on the course where you can ask questions on the course. So let's just see, it's now creating this cache function. So every time someone looks at a particular course and translates it to Hindi, it's going to save that translation for that course in the database. What this means is it's only translating what it needs to translate. And if no one ever wants to read a particular lesson in Hindi, it didn't waste AI tokens by translating something. Absolutely, Sylvia. Guess how to do it? Just ask. We could do this as a pretty much a new product, a new app or a feature within your current app. Give it 10 questions, even ask it to make up questions. The quiz that I have on my AI app builder site is I didn't make it up. It did it all for me, including the answers and the follow-up and everything else. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to doing stuff, and I get AI to do everything for me, and then I just tell it how to do it better. All right. How do you manage multiple clients when you're building with Supabase, Netlify, and N8N? Let's say you have 2 or 3 clients. Do you create separate accounts for each one? No, I do everything in. So these are my clients that I'm currently working on their apps in Claude. They're all in mine. The only thing I needed to do is create local Supabase settings, which are saved in a special Supabase.md file, because otherwise things like what happened first thing this morning when Mike ended up with a bonus database in his project because my app was connected to the wrong place. So that's what you need to do. I do require my clients to create their own Supabase account and then give me access to it, so that is going directly into their database. They own that content, and even with the GitHub could be their GitHub. And Netlify, I used to promote my own hosting service, which works great with famous apps. It doesn't work so well with doing this sort of thing. So now I use my Netlify affiliate link and ask the client to sign up through that, so that they have their own Netlify account. Janelle, can you put the Netlify affiliate link in there one last time, just so that people have got that? I know most people have already signed up. And thank you. You're amazing. So yeah, that's that's it, really. That's it. We have 4 minutes left. I really appreciate everyone's energy. Thank you for being here. Please add affiliate link to it. Is already in the Google file. It's actually there a few times in the Google file. That was I appreciate everyone's energy today. It was awesome. You've got all the links in the files. The Zoom videos will be exported in the next 6 hours or so. I have had a long day today, so I'm probably not going to be editing them this evening. But you will have the videos probably by about this time tomorrow. It is likely that you're going to get an invite to the Ninja Tricks videos, rather than it being in the portal that I said it would be before. And that's only because I have got a lot further with this than I thought I would, because just using the tools makes things work. And there we go. The title is now all in Hindi, Suresh. So we're getting close. By the time I've got this course mastered, and you'll probably find that the videos will be here tomorrow, but the actual course content won't be there until later in the week. So, but you'll have access to all of its iterations as it builds and as it changes. You're welcome, Vincent. Thank you for mentioning Janelle. Janelle, I really appreciate your help. Janelle does a fantastic job in supporting and getting things done, and it is like 9 o'clock in the morning for her. She just spent all night helping us out, so I do appreciate that a lot. Everyone else, have an amazing time building apps. Please keep me informed. Send me messages. Let me know how you got on. If you've loved this, leave a Trustpilot review. If not, send me a message. Tell me how I can improve, because I want to get better. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. Cheers. Bye-bye.